Hey, Facebook, and we're live on YouTube. Hello, everybody. Today, I want to talk about something really important. And honestly, I wish that more people talked about this. I think it is something that most entrepreneurs kind of purposefully or non-purposefully sweep under the rug. And I titled this The Dark Side of Entrepreneurship because I think that it is hidden and not talked about nearly enough. And so I wanted to bring it to light today. Hey, everyone. So if you're new, hi, I'm Melanie. I run a global real estate team called the Royal Circle, hence the crown. And I've been in business, not in real estate, in entrepreneurship for about 8 years, real estate for about 2.5 years. I built a $1 million real estate business, and I go live every single Monday on all of my platforms, just sharing lessons that I've learned. And my biggest goal is to help you, agents, entrepreneurs, anyone. I love helping people, and I've been through quite a bit in my entrepreneurial journey, and so I just love giving back. So let me know where you're tuning in from. If you're watching it live, give me a hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, give me a hashtag replay, and we can just dive in. So the big thing that I want to talk about is this movement is the wrong word. This thing that exists in entrepreneurship where everyone is very polished. And I know that this happens in real life too. And people will often remind social media is the highlight reel and not real life, and not, the B-roll and the ugly cuts and all the things that they're taking away. But I think entrepreneurs do this more than regular people. Hey, Joni, how's it going? Because it's our livelihood. And I am all for bragging online and bragging on social media and bragging, on your billboard or in your newspaper article, however you promote your business. I really believe that you should be bragging because most people are scared of bragging. And it was something that I really had to get over myself. And that bragging isn't bad. It's really just showcasing all that you have done and all that you can do to help your future prospects or your future clients. And the quieter you are about it, then the fewer people then you can help. So I do believe it is very, very important to share your wins and brags and all of that amazing stuff. But I was thinking about this weekend. I had lunch with two very close friends, and one of them, both entrepreneurs, not in the real estate space, one of them was saying that he is about to sell his business for $1 million. And on the surface, that sounds amazing, right? $1 million. Who would love to sell their business for $1 million? Give me a me in the comments, or an emoji, or a raise your hand, or give me some hearts. It's kind of a no-brainer. Cool, $1 million. However, he bought the business for $3 million. So that is a huge loss, huge. And he was kind of making a joke about how, if he shares it or when he shares it, he's going to say, oh, yeah, so grateful for this $1 million sale. But what most people will not know, this was like an intimate lunch that we were having. Most people will not know that it's a negative $2 million, it's a $2 million loss on that sale. And however, most people would have no idea. They would just see, oh my God, he sold his business for $1 million. That's amazing. I'm jealous. And then the other friend, it wasn't like we were comparing stories, just in general, we were catching up. And this other friend was saying that he recently launched a Kickstarter for a physical product that he is selling. And he said, I don't remember the exact numbers. I was like, oh, I haven't seen you since you launched this. Congratulations. How's it been going? He's like, oh, it was awesome. We sold $50,000 worth of product. $50,000 worth of product. Now, again, that sounds amazing. Who wouldn't want to sell $50,000 worth of product? But then the next thing he said was, and because of the discount that we, for Kickstarters, it's a new product. We're not selling it at full price. We actually lost $10,000. So we spent $10,000 in order to make that $50,000. Which again, if he's posting on social media or sharing with his friends who maybe aren't as close as we are, just saying, oh, it was so great. We launched this Kickstarter. We sold $50,000 worth of product. That sounds amazing. However, he actually lost $10,000 on that launch. And I see this all the time. Realtors that are posting, oh, I have $10 million under contract right now, but all of them are referrals and they're only making 20%. Or I know an agent that sold a $2 million house and it wasn't even a percentage. They had negotiated with the seller that they were going to just work for that deal for $1,500. And she wanted to do that deal to, get the experience and to say that she sold this $2 million house, and that's amazing. But when she was saying, oh, just closed on a $2 million house, no one would ever guess that what her personal profit was from that was $1,500. And not even profit, her revenue from that. So, hey, everyone, if you're just tuning in, I'm talking about the dark side of entrepreneurship. I'm talking about how a lot of times entrepreneurs will frame these huge successes and huge wins, and we don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. So if you are watching it live, give me a hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, give me a hashtag replay. I also would love to know what city you're tuning in from. The stories that you may have missed for those of you that are just jumping on. A friend of mine who is selling his business for $1 million, which seems like a huge feat. However, it is a business that he purchased for $3 million. So that is a big loss. Hey, Natalia, how's it going? And the other thing is a friend of mine who made $50,000 on a Kickstarter launching his new product and then actually lost $10,000 on that. So again, I was saying I see this so often in the real estate space. I know realtors that are on teams where they are maybe just a buyer's agent, not even a buyer's agent, like a buyer's assistant that just goes around and they make $50 per door that they open, but then they are able to promote that I closed $1 million in real estate this month, but really they only opened 10 doors for those clients. And so they made $500. And not that it's all about money, it's great to get the experience and to be posting all of those things. But all of this is to say, there are some lessons that I've been reflecting on after this lunch that I had with some friends, and also just being an entrepreneur for about 8 years now. I've been in the world. And I think I'm calling this the dark side of entrepreneurship because it is so detrimental to how other people show up. Now, there are 3 kind of lessons that I've extracted. And the biggest one, well, actually, they're all big. The first one is don't compare. You have no idea what's going on. How often, and give me a me too in the comments if you've done this, you're having a good day, you're feeling good about yourself, you're feeling good about your business, you open social media and someone says, oh my God, I just had $1 million launch, or oh, I have $20 million under contract just this month alone, or oh, whatever it is. Even it could not be about business. It could be, oh, I'm so happy with my husband, or oh, people, I just went on a month-long vacation, whatever they're bragging about, because that's kind of what social media is for. So how often have you been having a good day, feeling good about yourself? You log in and you see that, and just immediately you're comparing yourself, you're feeling bad about yourself, that you're not as good as that person, all of these things. I'm sure it happens to a lot of people. I'm sure I'm not the only one. But that experience is such a waste of your energy and a waste of your self-esteem and your self-belief, because one, you have no idea. You have no idea. Like this one time, I'll never forget it. I was in Israel and there was a bunch of us, and this girl that had been like crying all day and really unhappy and having a terrible time. I was sitting on the bus with her and I watched over her shoulder as she posted a picture on Instagram, and the caption was like, having such a great time in Israel, love, this was the best day ever. And I was like, why did she post that? Well, obviously she's not going to post like I was crying all day and this, I forgot what we even did that day. But sometimes people just straight up lie. That's one thing. Second of all, even when they don't lie, there are ways to frame things that sound better. Now, I went to college for journalism. That was my major. And all of journalism and the newspaper and the news is about framing stories. And we spent so much of my 4-year degree learning about that. And I do that a lot as a marketer. And I'm even guilty of it sometimes because, like I said in the beginning, you don't want to you want to put your best foot forward, especially if you're a business owner. You want to promote yourself well. You want people to believe that they can trust you and believe that you'll get the job done. And a lot of times you will, and still sometimes things get in the way. Sometimes there are obstacles that people don't share. Sometimes there are setbacks. Sometimes, things happen, and that's totally normal. And it's okay not to share those on social media, but just remember that other people are not sharing those on social media. So don't feel bad if you're seeing, I've known so many coaches that they say, oh, I had a $50,000 launch, but they don't share. They put $40,000 into Facebook ads. They paid $20,000 out for referral fees. They paid their employees another $10,000. Just because it was a $50,000 launch in revenue does not mean that it was profit. And so just be sure not to compare yourself to anyone, even if it was true, and sometimes it is just true. they could be 10 years ahead of you. They could have had their teeth knocked in or their face kicked in by entrepreneurship 1,000 times before getting to that point. You have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. You have no idea what obstacles they had overcome to get there, and you just don't know the full story. So don't compare. That is number one. The second thing is don't take it personally. This is why I think this needs to be talked about so much more. All of these dark secrets of entrepreneurship and the hardships and the obstacles and the setbacks, because so often newer entrepreneurs might think that it's just them. And it's just because they're doing a bad job or they're doing the wrong things or they're not good enough, they're not qualified. All of these negative things that self-talk, self-doubt, it comes up with even the most experienced agents. I experience it still with certain things that I do. It's just inevitable. And it can be so much worse when you look around and you see all of the successful entrepreneurs or real estate agents in your city or in your country online sharing all of these things, and they aren't sharing all of the times that they failed, that they made mistakes, that they invested in things, that they lost money on, that they tried things, that they got embarrassed, that they, all of these things that you're not seeing. You can think, it's very easy to think that it's just you that is having these struggles. And then that's why I think so many realtors quit. And the statistic is something like 87% of new agents quit in their first year. And I think part of that, there's a lot of reasons. Part of that, they don't have the stamina for delayed gratification. They might not have the support. They don't have the community to keep them going, the accountability. There's a million reasons, but I do think a big reason is because they just don't have the right expectations. And if we're more open about this, which is why I'm doing this whole conversation, if we're more open about how hard it is and how normal it is to have obstacles and to have setbacks and to have failures, I think when they come up, which they inevitably will, a new realtor or even an experienced realtor or entrepreneur, like I said, I'm about 8 years into entrepreneurship and I still have obstacles and setbacks almost every single day. Then when they come up, you can just say, oh, this is supposed to happen. This is, I'm on track. I'm doing well. And it can still hurt, and you can take a break and you can have a 5-minute pity party and you can do whatever it is to help you get through it. But you don't have to think, this is because I'm bad. This is because I'm not qualified. This is because I'm doing the wrong thing. This is because whatever these stories that you have in your head. Because the biggest thing that makes someone successful is just being able to show up every single day, believe in yourself, know that it's going to work out in the end. You have to have so much faith to be an entrepreneur and to be a real estate agent, because there's so much that goes on behind the scenes that you, even if you're a successful realtor, like you could wake up one day and there could be a new realtor in your city and all of your old clients and referrals go to that new agent. That's a possibility. It's also a possibility that that doesn't happen, but you have to just wake up every day knowing that you are responsible for your income and your future. And if you have employees, you're responsible for their income. It's a lot. It's a lot to handle. And I think if more people were open about how hard that is, there would be less of this self-judgment or self-doubt or self-anything for people that are experiencing that. And they think that they're the only one, because so much of the hard things that we experience in life, I believe, if you just know that it's supposed to happen and you're on course for what your goal is, and also that other people experience this too and are experiencing this and have experienced this and will experience this, then it's just a checkpoint in your head. Then you can be like, okay, today I got rejected 1,000 times, or today I launched that thing and I thought it was going to result in this and it actually resulted in 10% of that, or whatever it is. You can be like, cool, this is par for the course. This is supposed to happen. I'm going to learn from this. I'm not going to let it get me down. I'm not going to let it make me quit or make me doubt my abilities or my capabilities or my, I know a lot of people think like, oh, I'm just not cut out to be an entrepreneur or be a realtor, when that's not the truth. It's not that you don't belong. It's just that this is hard. And, you know, if there are 1,000 setbacks between you and where you want to be, every time you had a setback, you could just be like, cool, one down. Now that's one less that I have to deal with, and I'm that much closer to success. And that brings me to the third thing, which the reason I think more people need to talk about this is because people are giving up. People are quitting on their dreams. And there's this picture that I love, and it's people that are like axing for diamonds. And you can see like if they're axing this way and the diamonds are right here, but you can't see it. And he went this whole long way and he's about to turn around. but he's this close to the diamond. And I think so many realtors do that, and so many entrepreneurs do that, because again, you don't know that it's normal to have setbacks. You don't know that it's normal to have failures. You don't know that it's normal to be rejected 1,000 times and have things that you think are going to work that don't work, and spend money that you think you're going to get a return on and you don't get a return on. And if it's normalized and if it's spoken about, then you know that it's not you, and then you won't give up. Because so many people, I see this all the time, agents will quit. And real estate especially is a momentum game because of how long the sales cycle is. So people will start gaining this momentum and they'll quit like 1 month. If they just stuck with it for 1 month longer, all of the seeds that they had been planting would have erupted into a field of flowers, but they quit. So I think that knowing this, if this prevents one person from quitting, whether it's real estate or whatever your dreams are, whatever your business is, and maybe your business is going to be in 3 years from now and you're going to remember that I talked about this, whatever it is, then that will be worth it. And this is a good use of my time, because I truly, truly believe if you never quit, you will eventually succeed. You have to, because every single time you keep showing up and keep doing something, even if you're failing every single day, you're learning what's not working. You're still trying, you're honing your own skill set and your own self-confidence, because you can say, I'm someone that has showed up every single day for 3 years, even though I don't have a single client, or whatever it is for you. And then you can say, like, I'm someone that never quits. And that will serve you so well in the rest of your business. So for me, what helps is, like I said, if you can imagine that there are 1,000 really big upsets between you and where you want to be. And depending on what your goal is, and depending on your pain tolerance for upsets, that's going to be a different number. I think that they say, it's lonely at the top, or if it were easy, everyone would be successful. And that's true for a lot of reasons. It is going to be hard. Whether your goal is, let's say in real estate, whether you want to sell $1 million this year, or 10 million, or 100 million, or $1 billion in real estate, it's going to be hard. And there's more people that sell $1 million in real estate than sell 100. And there's more people that sell there's more people that sell 10 million than sell 100. So kind of the bigger your goal, you can safely assume the more obstacles you're going to hit, and the more bad days, or the more bad hours, or whatever it is, the more times you're going to be like, dang, this sucks. But the key is just knowing that it's one less that you have to deal with, because you are now one closer. And I think about this all the time with rejection, with bad days or bad hours or setbacks or obstacles, whatever, failure, whatever you want to call it. For me, I like to think about it like a video game. So there are, let's say, 100 or 1,000 or 10,000. I don't know the number. It doesn't really matter. It's just a trick that I use to get me past it. If there are 1,000 bad days that I need to go through in order to become a billionaire, and to help 1 billion people, and to help 100,000 realtors have 7 or 8 figure businesses, every time I have that moment, I'm like, cool, one less. And I also believe, I truly believe this, that the universe or God or whatever you want to say tests you. And if you say you have a goal, let's say $1 million in real estate, let's say you have a goal of $1 million in real estate, and as soon as it gets hard, if you quit, God is going to be like, or the universe, whatever, is going to be like, you don't actually want it. You just say you want it, but you're not really showing up. You're not showing me that you want it. So why would I give it to you? So in that way, I actually think that every time there's something hard and I continue going, I will get rewarded. And that has been my experience. I said to Jordan the other day, actually, that every time it feels like a breakdown or whatever, just because it sounds good with the next thing, every time there's something hard and it's frustrating, a breakthrough is just around the corner. Like back against the wall, you'll have some new idea, or you'll find something new, or someone out of the blue will call you, or someone that you spoke to 2 years ago will call you and be like, hey, I've been thinking about you. And in this example for real estate, hey, I want to sell $1 million house with you, or $10 million house with you. Every time it's been really hard and like frustrating, but I've said, I'm just going to keep going and grit my teeth. And I know that it's not personal, and I know that I have to get through this. Every time, just around the corner, something amazing has happened. So if you're not spiritual and you don't like that whole thing, just think about it very practically. Every time there's a hard day and you go through something difficult and you don't quit, I promise you there's 5 other people that had a hard day and they did quit. So very logically speaking, your competition has just decreased by 5 or whatever that number is. So every time that there is you have the inkling of feeling bad about yourself, feeling bad about where your business is at, feeling bad about whether it's a launch that you're doing or a campaign that you're doing or whatever it is that you're doing, every time that you feel bad, but you decide not to quit, people are quitting. And that means your competition just went down. And therefore, if there's 5 realtors in your city that are all fighting for one listing and 4 of them just quit, you got the listing just because you stuck it through when things were hard. So just as a quick recap, don't worry about what other people are saying. Hey, Derek, good to see you. Don't worry if things are going badly, if things are not happening as quickly as you want, if something that you did totally flopped, if you posted a video and nobody watched it, if you sent a campaign and nobody responded to it, whatever it is in your business, don't feel bad. It literally happens to everyone. It is so normal. It just means you're on the right track. Don't let it get you down. Don't compare yourself to what you see other entrepreneurs or real estate agents doing, because you don't know what is going on behind the scenes. You don't know how much money they invested in that. I spent $1 million on Facebook ads and I made $500,000. That's cool to say, I just made $500,000, but that's actually a $500,000 loss. So you have no idea. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. Don't worry if things are hard, if you have setbacks, if you have challenges. It's part of growing and you have to get through it. And every single time that you keep going and don't quit, other people are quitting. You're proving to yourself that you want this bad enough. You're proving to yourself that you can overcome hard things, that you are resilient, all of those skills, because resilience is a skill set. Everything is like a muscle. And if you do it long enough, you will grow it. So every single time it's hard for you, just keep going. Remember that it's all worth it on the other end. You didn't get this far just to get this far. Don't worry if things are hard. Take a break if you need to, have a snack if you need to, have a cry if you need to, whatever it is, but just don't give up, keep going, and it will all be worth it. You never know when that next big breakthrough is going to happen. You never know. And if you quit, you really will never know, and you'll never get where you want to go. You started for a reason, so just keep going. And if you ever want a pep talk, that's my favorite thing to do. I'm always here for you. I'm the biggest cheerleader, whether you're a real estate agent, an entrepreneur, if you're with EXP, if you're with the Royal Circle, if you're with any brokerage, if you're having a bad day, let me know. I will happily jump on a call or whatever, give you a pep talk. Like I said, it's my favorite thing to do. Just remember that it's worth it and that you are capable and that you are on the right track and you are exactly where you're supposed to be right now. So I'll leave you with that. If you like this, give me some hearts, give me some crowns in the comments. Also, if you're watching the replay, let me know by hashtagging replay, and I will see you next week. Remember, you are all kings and queens and abundance is your birthright. I will see you at the top. Have the best day.